This is a typical subfloor of a deck which has been prepared to accommodate a hidden channel frameless glass fence. There should be a beam on both sides and at the bottom to achieve maximum support. You should allow an 82mm width and an 80mm depth to house the channel. We recommend 45mm thick beams, as it will give you a good wall thickness for fixing. Measure the total length of the channel housing. This will tell you how many links you will require and if there are any cuts to be made. The standard length of the channel is 3 meters long. Start at one end and lay your channel end to end. If the channel is a little bit tight to get into the housing, then use a block of timber and hammer to make sure the channel is firmly in place and is sitting flat on the bottom. Continue to lay multiple lengths of the channel end to end, making sure each length is butted hard up to the previous length. If there is any shortfall, then measure the distance you require. Transfer your measurement to the channel and mark a clear line of where you have to cut. Using an angle grinder or hacksaw, cut the channel, making sure you have a square and even cut. Place the length in the channel and make sure you butt it up to the previous length. Using an 8mm steel drill bit, drill holes through side fixings and bottom fixings at a maximum 500mm apart for the length of your channel. Continue this for the distance of the fence. We recommend using 50mm galvanised bugle head screws to fix the channel. Clear the channel using a brush or rag. Insert the screws, making sure every screw gets a solid fixing. To ensure your grout doesn't leak out the channel, use silicone to seal all butt joints and any gaps you have in your channel. Cut the rubber blocks into halves and place in the channel at 1,100mm apart. Before you install your glass, you need to make timber braces. Cut a 12mm groove in the brace at a 45-degree angle. This is to place over the glass. You are now ready to install your glass. This is a two-person job. Using high grove gripping gloves, pick up the glass and carefully walk it over to the channel. Lower the glass down onto the rubber blocks. Be careful not to chip the corners. Make sure the glass is in the centre of the channel. You can do this by using a measuring tape. Make sure your glass is level before you put your brace on. With one person holding the glass, place the timber brace over the top of the glass and make sure it is firmly in place. Make sure the glass is perfectly level, then fix off the brace to support the glass. To make the join brace, you will need 2 blocks of timber. Screw them together with a 75mm screw. Twist to open the blocks and have them ready for the next piece of glass. Place your next piece of glass onto the rubber blocks, making sure your gap between each piece does not exceed 100mm. We recommend a gap of approximately 50mm, but this gap can widen or shorten to accommodate different stock size panels. Make sure you have an even gap between both pieces at the top and bottom. This will ensure that the panel is also level. If the panel needs some adjustment, add or subtract from the rubber block to accommodate the difference. Place the block back under the glass. Make sure when lifting, you do not hit the 2 pieces of glass together. Place your join brace over the 2 pieces of glass and turn clockwise until the brace is firmly supporting both pieces of glass. Make sure every panel is a minimum height of 1,200 millimeters at the deck level. Repeat this along the distance of the fence, making sure you have a down brace every second panel of glass. As the fence takes shape, be sure to check that every piece of glass is in alignment with each other. After you have used as many stock panels as you can, measure your gap and use the closest infill panel you require. Now, we are ready to pour the grout. Use newspaper and pack down tightly at each end of the fence on both sides of the glass to stop the outflow of the grout. For the mixing of the grout, we recommend you use a drill mixer. Pour 1 part water, 3 parts grout and mix thoroughly until the consistency resembles a milkshake thickness. On a hot day, the grout sets very quickly, so make sure you pour the grout immediately after mixing. Now, pour the grout into the channel, letting it pour and spread evenly throughout the channel. Continue this action until the channel has been filled all the way to the top along the channel. After you have finished pouring, clean the excess grout off the glass using water and a high-growth silicone spatula. Allow the grout to dry for 48 hours before removing the braces. By this time, your grout should be fully set and your fence completely stable. The hanging of a high-grove gate in a frameless pool fence follows the same principles used in the semi-frameless fence. Please refer to those instructions. Now your high-grove frameless fence is complete.